My name is Tamara Whiting and I'm the founder of Sister Friend. It was founded basically just knowing that there was a need for feminine hygiene products within the shelter system. And also we wanted to affect young girls within the school system as well. Feminine hygiene products were one of the main things that weren't donated. And I knew they weren't donated because no one talks about it. People donate the blankets, the food, the soaps, the deodorants, the socks. No one ever donates pads and tampons. So I said, that's where I'm gonna find my niche. That's what I'm gonna do.
My name is Allison Victory and I'm from Stowe Township, Pittsburgh. I met Tamara when they first started at some type of health fair on the East End. I asked her about Sister Friend and she told me, that their goal was to provide feminine hygiene products to women in need. And as someone who's faced hardships and needed things, had trouble getting things like that myself, I supported the cause since day one.
Sister Friend works with about 10 different organizations throughout the city of Pittsburgh, and new ones sign up basically every other day. Today we just worked with a new church in the East End, so people find out about us. They're able to go online and fill out a form, and that form will come to us. And as long as we have the supply, we're definitely willing to help.
My name is Edith. I'm here on behalf of my church to pick up supplies for the members' congregation and also anyone in the community that would be in need of any of these supplies. Our church is located in the East End, got a lot of low-income families there that I'm sure would be very appreciative of knowing that we've got these supplies for them.
So this is a Sister Friend kit. We put our kits in a brown paper bag. That way it's easy for a woman to carry with them. It's really for discretion. If you don't know what Sister Friend is, this could be a lunch. And then when you open it, we put either 10 tampons or 10 pads in each of the kits. So our thinking is we want to at least give the women 2 changes a day on average for 5 days. So one girl or woman can get 1 bag and that will last them for the month. So they don't have to continuously go back to the shelter or continuously go back to the school nurse and ask them for more and more and more. And then the most important thing I think about the kit is we put a note in each one of them, which is a very, very important part. So each of the kits have just a friendly note in there that our volunteers have written. And the thinking behind this is that sometimes people don't hear anything nice all day. So if you're already going through some hardships, wouldn't it just be nice to get a word of encouragement? I mean, sometimes I don't hear anything nice all day. It's really just to let them know that someone out there has their back and appreciates them.
There was domestic violence issues, and then there was a period of time where I didn't have a job and I couldn't afford things like feminine hygiene products and things, and I had to go different places, and sometimes they didn't have them. I felt unclean, really, and I, just felt like dirty, and I don't like to be dirty. I like one of these people, I have to be clean and presentable, and that's how I felt when I didn't have it. Rolls and rolls of toilet paper would come in handy. You could go to maybe a soup kitchen line and get toilet paper. You can go find a bathroom and stuff yourself with toilet paper. I mean, it's gross, but it works temporarily. And it's not comfortable. A lot of places are traditionally geared toward men. A lot of food banks, if they carry personal items, they usually carry things like donuts and soap, everything toward men. And women just get left out. And poverty with women and homelessness with women, it's kind of, it's becoming more prevalent. So some girls resort to stealing to get what they need, and to avoid that, organizations like Sister Friend is very important.
Our supply comes from the generosity of people just like you and I. People find out about us and it really interests them because I think it's a topic that most people don't talk about. So there's not a lot of organizations that do what we do. So it really piques their interest. So people just have donation parties. I mean, people have had birthday parties, church groups have gotten together, really It could be families. People have had Christmas parties and asked everyone in their family to bring products. So they really come from all over. You know, we started off with people, basically my own money, close friends and family, donating through a GoFundMe page. And we used to get so excited when we had like one box of pads that showed up through Amazon. And now, you know, every day people are showing up with bags and boxes of donations.
One of the members of our church has an organization. She's opened up her home to take in homeless teenagers. And Tamara happened to hear her talking on the radio about her program, and she had an open house. And someone knocked on the door. We opened it up, and there Tamara was with a box full of feminine supplies. And I was just so impressed with her, with the fact that she, based on listening to her on the radio, was able to provide these items. I was super impressed, so much so that I'm going to be volunteering to work with the organization.
One of the biggest challenges that we faced were really getting the shelters and organizations to consistently request product. I think it's one of those things that, you know, they know that they need it, but, you know, to actually say, okay, this is just another thing that we have to do and request. Really getting the product into the hands of the people that need it.
I've heard of incidences where, you know, girls actually got in trouble for shoplifting, and big things were feminine hygiene products. Or deodorant, that's a big one too. And I always try to carry a couple with me in case, not so much in case I need it, but if someone else needs one.
We all need to kind of wrap our brains around how do we get more access so that people aren't stealing pads and tampons, people aren't using rags, they're not using toilet paper. You know, my philosophy is it should be accessible just like toilet paper is accessible, because it is a natural process that a woman goes through, and there's no reason why we have women out there without these resources. So, you know, there's a lot of issues that go along with that. In Pittsburgh, I'm happy that we do not have a tax on pads and tampons here in Pennsylvania at this point in time, because we all know government changes. So we want to make sure that our advocacy efforts are towards making sure that there is no tax, that people are aware that this is an issue. If you take for granted the fact that you could just go to a store and buy these items, you may not think about the fact that there's a lot of people out there that don't have that privilege. So if you're thinking about, you know, do I keep the lights on or do I buy pads and tampons, you know, what do you choose? So I think awareness, access, is, you know, one of the biggest things.
My idea for the future is for more people to be educated and informed, know about organizations like Sister Friend, partner with them, and, you know, just have things available and ready for women in need.
As we strategize for 2017 and beyond, we're thinking about really just going, I mean, of course, continuing with our shelter partners and, you know, delivering it as they request it, but also thinking of a different strategy of really just taking it to the streets where people actually are, you know, maybe partnering with some of those organizations that do the meals on the street, just to have like a table of, you know, pads and tampons and any other items that may get donated to us, so that we know that it's getting directly to the people that actually need it.
When women get them, they're just so thankful to have them, you know, because they're so scarce. They just, you know, when someone gives them a handful of feminine hygiene products, even if it's deodorant or whatever, or cosmetics, anything, they tend to keep it because it's just so scarce and it's needed. It makes them feel better about themselves.
I think it's going to have a tremendous impact on the women in our community. Typically, they tend to get items such as blankets, etc. No one focuses on these type of supplies, which are very much needed. So I think they're going to be very appreciative.
My moment that I'm like, wow, this is what we're doing. I've had many moments like that. I think every time I step foot in this storage area, I have one of those moments. I get one of those moments every time I tell somebody about what we do and they're like, oh, I didn't think about that. We get that a lot. And I think I have one of those like, we're onto something here moments. I get phone calls, at least once a week, I should say. of someone that has heard about us and, you know, really kind of give me words of encouragement, like, you know, this is really great, you know, keep up the good work. And it really touches me. And then having people come out like Allison that has experienced hardships in her life and really clinged to the idea, sister friend, and continues to come out, you know, catch the bus, you know, to our events and keep up with us and show up and just give us support and give us a hug, you know, really makes it real with actually being able to talk to the people that either are getting or receiving the items sister friend gives out or have firsthand knowledge of why it's important. Always gives me one of those moments like, wow, we're doing something.
I feel your blame, I feel your shame, I feel your blame, burning, burning, all inside of you, all inside of you. And those dreams that you had once, I had them too. Oh, but dreamers wake up to the harshest truth.